Real Daniel.
How we doing?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Oh, can't complain.
Good.
Another
Good.
day. Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Can't
glory to
complain.
God. There's like two screens I see. Is that like a weird?
Oh,
Yeah.
so they have this feature on StreamYard. It's called the Mars feature, and what it does is it simultaneously does a vertical stream for people that like to watch on their cell phones, and then it also has the horizontal stream as well. So people that like to watch on their computers or their televisions, they can also get a good view as well. So
Oh,
it's kind of geared towards whatever audience likes to watch.
interesting. So it's like running two streams at the same time, so you're getting viewers on both?
Oh yes, yeah, I am
Cool.
getting viewers on both, and we're live on Kick as well.
Oh yeah. I get on Kick and like nobody shows up on Kick. Like it's just YouTube and Facebook.
I get into some controversial conversations sometimes, like we've been talking about what's been going on with uh, the rise of the Muslim nation inside of the United States and
Hmm.
stuff like that. It's good to have the fallback of Kick to be like, oh, okay, this won't get banned over here. I can keep it over there as almost an archive, if anything, and then I just leave my unedited uh, content over there. Hello, Tommy. Good to see you.
Yeah, Facebook is the most restrictive I've found. Like even if
Yes.
you just say certain words, it just like it cuts me off and it's just like your Facebook's been disconnected. And I'm like, why? What did I do?
I noticed the other day I was trying to write Muslim in just a chat response, and I didn't realize the word Muslim is actually banned on YouTube. At least in I don't know if it's just some people's chats. I'm like, it's just like saying Christian, isn't it? Like you're just identifying a religion. And I didn't say like I even tried to like take out all the negative connotation or anything around it. I'm like, there's nothing negative about this. Why can't I just say a religion's name inside of YouTube? Like that is very strange.
You have to start calling them different names, like the what is it, the Sarcians or what were they called in the Middle Ages? It was like before they were called the Mohammedans, but they were also called the Saracens, I think.
Yeah, I've heard Saracens before. I haven't heard would you say the Mohammedans?
Mohammedans, yeah, because of Muhammad.
Mohammedans.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I've been watching a lot of Christian channels have open debates about how just Muslim society is pretty much just not good for America because and a lot of people will try to argue that Christianity also has things in it that are not compatible with American laws today, and those are people usually referencing the Old Testament. It's not the New Testament. They're usually actually it's more Judeo values than at least that's what the book that they're applied to. Most Christians apply to the New Testament more than anything, and that's the whole reason that Jesus gave his life. And you know, we didn't have to go down that same rabbit hole anymore.
Yeah,
It
he had to
seemed like that
correct a
was the
lot of
point.
things. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, God had
exactly.
to come and set some things straight and be like, "Hey, like you guys you're not applying the law correctly." Like Jesus admonished the Pharisees so much. It was just like you're doing all this and that. Like you're planting herbs and you care about like swearing on the gold in the temple, but really, what you should be doing is helping the poor. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I don't necessarily know if it's helping the poor like people think it is. Like I think you should just help. You should just be a more helpful person. If one person just did one good thing every day, doesn't matter what it is, on what level, I think the world would just be a better place. And instead of just being like, oh, I have to one up the person next to me, like you don't have to just go out and hand $5 to somebody on the side of the road. I don't think that necessarily is a net benefit to the society that we've constructed around ourselves. Like people find themselves enabling and thinking they're doing good, and I just don't see. I don't know. Let me ask you about this.
Sure.
As a Christian, I've talked to a couple of different people about this. How do you feel about giving people money? Would you rather give somebody money if they were asking for food, and then say they were going to spend it on food? Would you rather give them money so they could spend it on food, or would you rather like go buy them food? Is there a middle ground for you, or is it just like once it leaves my hands, I don't really care how they spend it? It's on.
Yeah, it's the second one for me. I mean, it's up to them and God how they want to spend the money. But what I did is I followed Christ's commandment. He said, if you did to the least of these, you did to me. So I'm just like, okay, this is an icon of Christ. He's asking for money. This is exactly what I want. So like, he's doing me a favor right now because I'm trying to get treasure in heaven.
Okay, so you are proposing it as everybody's created in the image of God. This is God testing me, or I have to respond to him like he is the
Yeah,
Father.
and unless with certain people, like you end up getting like a spiritual discernment and you can kind of like tell. And that's something that maybe comes a little bit later, but you don't want to use that as an excuse to like never help anybody. Because I hear a lot of people, they'll make like a system in their head and they're just like, well, like these guys are all drug addicts and like they're always like working in a team and they're just trying to get one over and you're really hurting them in the long run and you're enabling it. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe, but like as somebody who used to be addicted to drugs, fortunately for me, it was like alcohol. So like it wasn't hard to get. It wasn't like heroin, but I know how bad an addiction can be. And like for them, it might actually be life or death. They might really need that heroin at that time. You can't withdraw.
Yeah.
Like, so, I'm just like, it's not really I try not to judge other people, but sometimes the spirit can kind of convict you and be like, yeah, this is a bad idea. The other day, somebody came onto my stream asking for money on Cash App, and I was actually willing to do it. And then when I went through the Cash App thing, it immediately told me that this is a scam. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And like, I asked the guy, I'm like, can you talk a little bit more? Tell me more about your situation. Cause he's like, I need groceries for my son and like we won't get Snap until the 22nd. I'm like, well, if you really were asking me for this, you'd still be around in the chat. I think it was just like a bot or something that probably
Oh
just goes to
wow.
Christian channels and just like, yeah, just wants to punk Christians. And this
Yeah.
is something that they said would happen in the Bible. There will be people that take advantage of the fact that you give.
Well, yeah, and this actually kind of ties into that thing I wanted to talk to you about. Was it's like I almost think that what we call Satan or the devil, the fallen angel, what we call him, he's got to be working with God. Like to me, they have to be in some kind of mutual agreement.
Well, God is God, and so he loves his I know he loves us. I don't know how he feels about his angels. We don't know that relationship that he had with Satan, and a lot of the church fathers say it's best not to even try to think too much about it. We just know his relationship to humanity is that he hates us and he's our enemy. But like what will God do with him in the end? We don't know. Uh, but God does use the demons uh, to afflict us, and that way we get stronger. So like they're actually working towards our growth in theosis, because if we were not challenged, if we don't go through suffering, we never grow.
So I think I also think it has a lot to do with uh, a lot of people think that God, I mean, not God, that Satan isn't allowed into heaven. And I would think the Bible describes it pretty well in saying that, yes, he's allowed in with God's permission and they do counsel. And they basically, Satan has to present what he wants to do to the humans and God has to approve it. And he does. And it is
With
like
Job, he
a,
did, yeah.
yeah, and he allows these challenges to humanity, which you like you were saying, it does make us stronger. But do we have to yield the idea that he is working with it? Because I do also think the Bible is pretty specific about there will be a time where Jesus will actually come and there will be a battle with that force, whatever we want
Yeah.
to call it. But I do think there is an end time like predicted still. I just don't think anybody's going to know the date or the month or
Oh yeah, yeah.
however it's phrased.
Yeah, it specifically tells us we won't know that, not the exact day and time, but yeah, as for like Satan, I would say from his perspective, he's rebelling against God. It's just God knows everything that's going to happen, so there's really no way to win. And I think Satan knows that, or you would think he would. He's so smart, but like he's so prideful too. I mean, he even was given the scripture, like the Pharisees. It makes sense that they were blinded to what was happening with the Messiah, but you would think Satan could look at some of these prophecies and be like, oh man, maybe I really shouldn't crucify this guy, because like that's going to lead to my downfall. There's a funny thing that John Chrysostom, he wrote about this, where he kind of like, um, he has like, just for teaching purposes. It's not that it's legit actually happened literally this way, but that's Satan is having a conversation with hell, and hell's pissed off. Hell is like, you have gutted me. Why did you bring God into my stomach? I can't hold God. He's life itself. Now I'm going to give up all the dead, and I have nothing left except for you. And now I'm going to torture you, Satan, because I used to have all these people, and now all I have is like a few people and like demons in me. Like I wanted all of those people, and now they're gone.
So I don't know. I still think he's acquiring his own army, but I do think they're the weaker of the, like you said, the people that are getting challenged and actually passing the challenges or making it out of the challenges are the ones that are going to be stronger in the end. The weak ones that just fall into it, I don't think they're the best people you'd want in your army. But I mean, to each their own. I mean, I guess, but that it almost seems like I can't even call him a rebel because he's being obedient. Why is he going and asking permission from somebody who could, I mean, I guess take him out whenever he wanted to? I feel like
Well,
feel
yeah, I
like he
mean,
has that power.
yeah, God could just destroy Satan at any moment. He chooses not to, just like he chooses not to kill humans. I mean, he kills us in the sense of the separation of soul and body, but he never kills.
Anymore. That's Old Testament God. I think after the death of Jesus, this is what we were phrasing on earlier. I think after the death of Jesus, God no longer was going to smite people the way he did previously with like Sodom and Gomorrah and, you know.
Yeah, we look at everything from the Orthodox perspective as a measure of love. So he's actually doing these things to help us. When like for a lot of times atheists will come at me and say, well, what about the flood? You know, like what kind of God would kill everybody but like 8 people? And I'm like, well, you don't know exactly what pre-flood life was like. If we are to take everything else as, if you're going to take the flood story as being real, then you got to take the rest of it with it. And grant the premise, I guess, from the atheist point of view. And the Nephilim was like this idea of human beings that were so wicked that they kind of like made this alliance with demons. And once they like died, their souls even were like connected with them, and they could act almost like demons, or some kind of weird hybrid between the two. We don't believe that there was actual like genetic mixing between the two, but we believe that there was like this like weird demonic communion that was going on that must have made the world extremely dark, like things that we can't even imagine, of depravity.
Do you believe in the idea of jinn?
Well, so when I was a former occultist, I did, and now I think they're just demons. Just the demons. I think they do something where they like they trick us and they confuse us, and that makes it seem like there's like this all these like different classes of beings. The jinn seem way more powerful than a standard demon from the occult experience. Like nobody wanted to really mess with those guys.
Well, they almost seem neutral, and demon almost has a connotation of negativity to it. So, jinn are actually considered like neutral in the eye of like maleficent beings, but not human or never were human. And that's the similarity that I find in demons. Most demons were never human at any point as well. And then
Right. Yeah, they're
the
fallen
possession
angels.
side, I do think jinn can also possess humans, like some demons are able to. So there is some crossover. Um, and I think it's intriguing just because that is a mythology that came from the same area. And I think a lot of what religion is people describing what they saw. And because it almost makes me think that there was giants roaming in the earth um, in biblical times. Like there would have to be, to a certain
Could be.
extent. How do we get the story of David and Goliath without a Goliath? Like how were there? Was it just a status that they were trying to portray with his size, or was it actual like large humans walking around? And
Yeah.
were they children of the Nephilim and like inner species kind of thing, and that's why they were larger? Um, and then that brings me into like the age references in the Bible as well, like trying to take it really literally and like looking how long like Enoch lived, and because he never died, but how many years he lived compared to most humans and stuff like that, and why our lifespans have gotten shortened so much. Didn't know if that had to do with maybe these like genes that were eventually like bred out of us. And yeah, it's strange to me. I feel like there's a lot of things going on in that area of the world during that time that it was mostly just humans trying to describe things the best they could. And we ended up with a lot of different examples of things.
Yeah, taking it literally, I would say it's kind of like reverse evolution, because we came from a state of grace and we started falling. So like people live longer, and as we get further in time, we get more and more depraved, and like our lives got really short. And only right now with technology are we starting to increase that back up again a little bit. And it's like it's really weird because now we're sort of at the point of the Psalms where it says 70 years is the span of our life, 80 if we have strength. And that's like pretty much where most people are at this point. Um, but yeah, people used to live for hundreds of years. I mean, even when Christ came into the world, it was Simeon that he has the famous lines, "Now let thy servant depart in peace." He was able to survive until he saw the Messiah because that was promised to him, and he lived for hundreds of years. I forget how long they say he lived.
Yeah, there's several people in the Bible that lived over 200 years or 500 years. I think Enoch was closer to like 9, wasn't he? Like 900 years. And they even have like kings lists of people in the past that the kings list, like just looking at their lineage, you'd go, oh, okay, that person had to live for several generations in order for this to even be possible. Like, how did he rule that long? Like, it'd be weird to be ruled by a people and a king outlived his people. Like, I don't know. I was thinking
Yeah,
about this with like the context of like Greek society. I was like, there was probably people that were born in Greece and thought for the rest of their life that Greece was going to be the biggest superpower in the world and died thinking that. Like, and they wouldn't know any different, or Rome or anywhere else. Like in their primes, you would have no other context outside of that because we didn't have information the same way. So it's like, I don't know, you could never really get a realistic look at how small you are in the scope of things. I mean, even on the planet we're small. But I don't know, it's kind of like what's it called, word vomiting about it, but it's just a weird thought to me, like just the whole process of where we've come, how much credit we try to give to religion. Oh, you had talked about Satan killing Jesus earlier, and what came to my mind when you were talking about it was, I feel like he's not upset about it for the simple fact that it got blamed on the Jewish people. I think that is a win to him, like the fact that he doesn't have to have credit for it, and also creates a separation in the religious state. I think that's a win in Satan's eyes, if I had to guess.
well, he delights in us falling away from God, that's for sure. And there was always like Satan couldn't actually physically kill Jesus, so he had to use people. And that's kind of how it always plays out. And it would be the worst insult to Christ. It's like, you love these people so much, I'm going to make them torture you to death, and we'll see if you still choose them over me. And that was kind of like his bet. He thought that at the end during the crucifixion, at some point, Jesus Christ would have just said, "That's it. Thanos snap. Like I've changed my mind. I'd rather have the angels do this. I don't need these humans anymore. I can restart. I can always make a new creation."
Were angels created in the image of God?
No, what they found out, probably to their dismay, especially Lucifer, is to be the highest state of angel. And this might explain the whole jinn thing being more powerful. That they might just be archangels. They look like us, and so they thought at first like, oh, I look kind of like Jesus Christ, and then they found out that it's these men that are half animal, half spirit. Like Satan was mortified by this. He was just like, "This is what is going on here. These guys are idiots. Like you're giving them the ability to hold your presence. Why can't it be me? You know, like I control the light. You know, like why are you giving them the Holy Spirit?" Um, so he was very upset, and of course he hates Mother Mary because she now has the title that he used to have, which is light bearer. She now bears the light of the world. That's Jesus Christ. So that's why Mother Mary, like, there was even in the Genesis, it speaks about this, that there'd be enmity between um, the woman and the snake, and that she would, you know, the heel of her son would trample on the snake, uh, which of course is Jesus Christ. So he hates her and he flees from her. I mean, he's afraid of her power.
In your religious perspective, do you believe in the different classes of angels, the multiple classes, like
Yeah,
the
cherubim, seraphim.
cherubim, yeah, seraphim, the ones
Yeah,
that look big, like, well, because I always thought their descriptions were very interesting, like the ones that almost looked like they were just wings and they were always covered,
that's a
like it was,
seraphim. Yeah, six wings
yeah,
soar off, borne on their pinions.
and everybody just thinks of like Cupid, like it's not the only angel
No,
out
these
there.
guys were terrifying looking. There's a reason why the angels had to like affirm to the humans, like, don't be afraid.
Yeah. No, well, okay. I gotta ask you this because this is like my lighthearted view of Christianity that I actually think is done pretty well. Thoughts on the movie Dogma?
Oh, I enjoyed it when I watched it because I watched it when I was younger, and at that time, I'm trying to think what I was. I think I might have been at that point in college, and that was when I was researching like every religion. So I was like trying out every single religion. I probably was like a Hindu at that point, and I watched it, and I was like, that's funny on the Catholics because they think they hold the keys of heaven, and whatever happens here happens there. And I thought it was funny. And now I look at it, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I don't find it as funny anymore, but it's still, you know, yeah, it's lighthearted. Um, and
I think the
it's Hollywood,
uh,
you know.
their perception of the angels in it were done well, and then also the fact that God, um, you couldn't humans couldn't hear the voice of God. There had to be somebody to talk on.
Metatron, yeah.
Yeah, I like that they portrayed it like that because I didn't really know how you would portray something like that. Like thinking about it, outside of watching that film, I'm like, oh, so just every time this person speaks, everyone just dies around them, or like I didn't know if it was they can't hear the voice, like if it's a pitch that they don't understand, or if it's always destructive and their eardrums can't take it, or what to actually expect. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, that part is a little inconsistent with what happens in the Bible. I mean, because there's many ways that God can speak to people. But one thing I thought was kind of funny about that, like the only thing that I'd still draw out of it would be Buddy Jesus. Like the idea of like trying to make Jesus into
A
something
friendly
that we want
figure.
him to be. Yeah. It's like, no, he's
Well,
just
it's
my
just like
buddy now.
he actually is a friendly figure. There's no reason to just make him giving the thumbs up. Like there's besides the thumbs up, he is Buddy Jesus like normally. Like he was never like
He's
the
our
smiteful
Lord.
God that people think of. Like I'm just
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
understand what you mean.
I guess you could
Yeah.
get stuck in the idea of the Trinity, but he didn't seem like a person to fear. Like he didn't have that kind of command over people. You should be fearful of him if you were challenging him, but if you were just the average person, um, I don't know. It's similar to like a police officer or something like that. Like I think there's a fear of people that are supposed to be out there to help you. Like there's this connotation that can get like wrapped around that figure in your life, no matter what it is, I guess.
I think we're supposed to have a healthy fear of God because it says that constantly in the Bible. And I think even while we love God, we actually simultaneously should have some fear in the sense of reverence. And like, think of it like if you'd get nervous speaking to Donald Trump, or maybe not Donald Trump, but somebody that you really respect. Like a
But do
really,
you treat all of their forms differently, or do you treat it like the Trinity? Like if you were to encounter the incarnate of Jesus or a human representation of God, would you treat them like an individual, or would you treat them like the idea of the Trinity and fear them, because I don't think Jesus came to earth to make people fear him. I don't think that was the same thing. I don't think he was like, "Hey, I'm your
No,
creator," and he
no.
even spoke of it as my father is even more mighty than I. Like he even, I think there is a verse in the Bible that says, "My father is more than I," or phrased some way like that.
That's humility. Like, so we believe that he's co-equal with the Father, and he says, "Don't you know?" Like, because they ask him to show us the Father, and we'll be content. And he says, "Don't you know how long have I been with you, Philip? And the Father is in me, and I am in the Father." So he is the same, but he's so humble, and he says, the Father is even greater than I. That's so that when we imitate Christ, that we also have that humility constantly. Um, but yeah, I mean, you're right that he didn't come
So
to make
that's
us
so
fear
that's
him.
Michael Jordan saying he's not the best basketball player.
Well,
Is
he
that
came
is
he
that what
came
we're
as a little child. I mean, he endured a shameful death for us, and he blessed us while we killed him. I mean, yeah, he's the epitome of humility, and we can never match that because he's God, and yet he became one of us, one of us lowly creatures. But you were right that he didn't come to scare us. He came to reconcile us, and he came to call sinners to saints. So that was his job, really. And then what he gave us, because he loves us so much, he gives us like a share of his divine nature. We're supposed to partake in that. That's in, like, I think, First or Second Peter. But we're supposed to take part in his nature. And so the church goes through, and it actually has a further mission, which is predicted in the Bible, is to preach it to the Gentiles. And he didn't come just to save the Jews. He actually came to save the whole world. And he only just hints at that in the actual gospel, where he gives the one woman, I think she was a Canaanite woman, and she says, uh, uh, you know, uh, even the dogs, want the crumbs, because he's like, it's not right to give what's meant for the children to the dogs. And she said, well, even dogs beg for crumbs at the master's table. And he's like, your faith has made you well. Like, okay, you know, it, that whole symbolism there of, like, the canine, the dog man, like, that shows up in iconography in the Orthodox
Yeah.
East. Like, that the foreigner is actually been grafted into life itself, and, like, now the foreigner, like, has this pivotal role of being the periphery. And there's, like, a bunch of symbolism around the periphery of, like, oil being a periphery, and the ark of the covenant being a periphery, or the Noah's Ark, that boat being something that divides us from the water, so that we're able to cross the water. Um,
I just feel like this divide is just so rooted in the founding of religion itself, I guess, with Cain and Abel, and where the Abrahamic religions went, and where the Canaanites went, and some people almost vilify the Canaanites because it was based on a murder. Like, didn't he murder his brother? And
He did, but what did God do? I mean, God came to him, gave him a chance to repent, said, "What happened to your brother?" Like, as if God doesn't know what happened. He sees
yeah,
everything, and he's, "Oh, I don't know. I'm not my brother's keeper." And he's like, "All right, you're not going to repent, huh? Well, this is what I'll do. I'm gonna put a mark on you, so that if anybody hurts you, and everyone's going to know that they would be you'd be avenged sevenfold." And he protected him, and he still loved him. And it's just like, it shows us that no matter how far we fall, God continues to love us at the same intensity as if we never did anything wrong. What he hates is wickedness. So God's unchanging. He always loves us, and he always hates wickedness. And at the very end of time, everyone's going to be glorified. God will be all in all. And if you don't love God, this will feel like torture to you. If you do love God, it's going to feel like paradise. But everyone's going to get the same exact treatment. Just
with,
love.
with that being said, does God have a breaking point then?
No, apparently not.
I mean, if we reference back to like the flood myth, where he's just like, oh, this wickedness over here is enough for me to cast out the world with it.
Oh,
Is
I see what
is
you're
it
saying.
is there a level to his tolerance?
Okay, in that sense, now that I know what you're talking about, yes, yeah, because eventually his wrath will be poured out, and that there's a restrainer on this world, um, before the end times. But when eventually the law of perdition and the apostasy will take place, and a lot of people will fall away from the faith, and there'll be somebody who basically imitates Christ and does everything that he did. So if we look at the things that Christ did, what did he do? He cured the lame. He brought sight to the blind that were born blind. He healed the paralytics. Could technology do that? Can
Yeah.
AI do that?
Well, because when we were talking about age earlier, and you were talking about the average life expectancy of a human, and you said it's probably about 80 now if you take care of yourself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know people are going to push that button and go, okay, I can add 20 years, I can get this, I can get this, and at what point? Because I've always thought this, it's like the old ship analogy or whatever. They've got a ship from World War I, and they've
Theseus's ship? Is
replaced
that what you're talking about?
it.
Theseus's
Was
ship?
that? Is
Theseus's
that
ship.
oh yeah,
It's
that
from
same
the Greek
idea. You
philosophy. Yeah.
replace all you replace all the wood on the ship, and it still has the same name, but is it the same ship anymore? Because everything's been replaced on it. And I think humans are going to do that voluntarily. I think it's the same way that we're going into like electric cars or anything else. Like the way that we are so happy to join with technology, it'll start as something helping. It'll be something like Neuralink to help people that don't actually have the ability to do certain things, and they'll be given the ability to do certain things that they weren't born with, and it'll slowly progress from there. And oh man, I or maybe even prosthetics. I could see it starting with prosthetics as well. Just metal, actual like metal limbs or composite limbs. We'll be making them on 3D printers in no time.
Yeah. Yeah, cyborgs and all that. Yeah, I think so. But in this case, the Theseus's ship is a little bit, it needs to be tweaked a little bit, because in Theseus's ship, you're replacing it so that it's the same ship though. This isn't going to be the same ship. It's almost like changing the Theseus's ship to a spaceship. And it's like, is that still Theseus's ship? Originally, it was like this hybrid between wood and metal, and like
Okay,
now it's
but what
all
if
metal. Yeah.
if you take it out and we replaced all the wood with plastic, it doesn't matter what new technology we apply to it. It's the idea that it's all being replaced. I think it still fits, but yeah, I wonder if that's going to be considered a challenge to humans. Are the people that avoid it? Because then I think there's things like downloaded consciousness. I think we're going to get to a point where people can literally upload what we call memories into like a database, and it could be stored. I don't think it's you anymore at that point. I think it's merely it's almost like a glimpse into two-dimensional reality, and you just have like a snidbit of information stored somewhere. It's not that actual thing, the three-dimensional thing you were talking about, but it's a piece of it, and you can kind of, you know, use that. Like we have uh, apps now where you can get calls back from deceased loved ones, and you
Yeah.
can have conversations with them like that. Just the idea of that is so scary to me. Like I get the closure idea of it and why people might be drawn to it, but
Doesn't offer closure.
that is not the person that you think it is. But we have to separate that with people, because that's how people are thinking about it. Like, oh, I just want to hear my loved one's voice again. That's not your loved one, though. Like that's where the disconnect is. And they go, oh, maybe if a computer makes it sound like my loved one, I'll feel more closure. And it's just like, but you have to know that's not your loved one. Your loved one is in a different place now. You know, I yeah, it's going to be so voluntary, and it's already happening. Uh, I just don't know if what we consider good Christians or good religious leaders are going to fall into the same thing.
I hope not. I see it in there was one church in, I think, Switzerland that had an AI Jesus, and where you can confess to the AI Jesus. I thought that was crazy. I saw recently, actually, it got posted not too long ago. It's like a body cam footage film that's from one of these, I don't know what YouTube channel it was, but either way, an AI got somebody arrested. It was a casino, and misidentified this guy. It was 100% match, and like the guy had his ID and everything, and he still got put to jail for it. And
Yeah, I
when
saw
they took,
that.
oh yeah, yeah, so you saw,
Yeah.
yeah, and it got rectified in a way. I mean, they did the fingerprints. They found out that he was telling the truth, but like you can see how this is already going off the rails, and we are just starting the process. This is the worst. I mean, the worst the technology is ever going to perform, and the least invasive in society it's ever going to be. It's just going to become more and more part of everything.
Well, and I was actually talking about this with immigration, and that's how our society is set up right now. What it actually had to do with deportation. So, if you commit a crime in the United States and somebody sets up a description of somebody, it's not unconstitutional to get picked up because you fit a description. So, if there's similar, say it's a white man wearing a red hoodie and blue jeans. If they take you into the police station and question you, it's actually not a crime. They haven't done anything wrong for following up on a lead, and now we're giving that ability to AI, and they are allowed to make the mistakes. And that's the only reason that we feel like, oh, we could have done it better. But it's like, no, we do that all the time in society and pull in the wrong people and bring the wrong people into custody. Like, and eventually, yeah, it'll get cleared up, but or maybe it won't. That falls later into our judicial system, which is also a mess. But when we're doing things based on description and the tools that we use to describe things are different than the person next to me, my eyes work differently than yours. Like, and people just don't want to admit that. It's like our eyes aren't our best thing. So it's like, oh yeah, maybe if we just yield to AI, we can get more accurate information. And it's just like, it's not going to go the way you think. I just feel like we're leading definitely towards almost predictive criminality, like
Yeah.
they've prophesized in a lot of movies. We're going to
Was
be
it
trying to catch
Gattaca?
people for
Was it Gattaca or no? What was it? Minority Report, I think.
Minority Report, yeah,
Yeah.
and prosecuting people for future crimes, and I don't know, it almost takes away the idea of free will because it makes you wonder if you actually have free will if something like that, the Minority Report can come to fruition. If a person can't, like, I almost feel like if gosh, this gets me into like time travel thoughts and all kinds of crazy stuff. So if you were to go back and let somebody know, hey, we have knowledge of you committing a crime here in the future, is there any way of actually correcting it, or is you just telling them, putting in the line of motion where it's going to happen regardless? Like, even you letting them know would be, already foretold by God in the scheme of things, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, this is like kind of gets into this weird spot where like I like the fact that there's mystery, and I know what Calvinists do with this because they're like, well, the prescience means that we just don't have free will. Because it's like if you knew what God knew and you knew this was going to happen, then you'd feel like you didn't have free will anymore. But like that's not how God designed us. He designed us to have this dignity that we do take responsibility for what happens inside of us and how we react. We can't really control the world. It's just too complicated for us, and also we can't change our nature. Like, so
Yeah.
like if I wanted
Well,
to
I
just
think you can change. I think we can't change our nature. And I think, yes, there's variables being the world. You can only control what you have. Like, that's the hardest part about the world and how people navigate through it is I think too many people try to change other people's minds and try to change external forces that they have no control over. You do have control over yourself. And I do think you can change your nature. I think you can pull yourself out of a slump and not be the negative person you've been for a long period of time. I think people can be born again Christians. I think people can change their lives, but there is a root human nature where I don't know if that's just infallible. Like where you almost worry about yourself and your immediate before you worry about anybody else. Like if
well, that's
there's
not
two
what I mean
people.
by human nature. Just
Oh, okay.
if you want to finish what you were saying,
No,
but
no,
like,
no. Go
yeah.
ahead. No, no. Separate it because I was thinking you were meaning a different a type of human nature.
No, I mean in a very classical, like philosophical sense of like we can't breathe underwater. Like we were born a certain way. Like we're human beings. I can't make myself like an angel or something. Like I can't change me being a human. Um, so like I can't fly around kind of deal. Like that's what I mean by it.
So like evolution.
Ugh.
Because I think it could happen just over time. I mean, if if we started out, if creatures started out in the ocean and made it onto land, I would assume that there is a period where we can't evolve. I think it would take a long, 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 long time.
Yeah,
It
we've
wouldn't
never
happen
seen it.
overnight.
We've never
No,
seen
I
a
don't think there's
species
been
jump to another species.
yeah, no, I don't think it's ever happened, and I don't see a lot of evidence for evolution without
Yeah.
sped up evolution. I do think there is evolution seen in humans, but all it seems to be is selective breeding rather than actual evolution. And I think you could do selective breeding inside of a species. That's why we have so many dog species um, and different forms of dogs and stuff like that. That's not evolution. It's just, oh,
Yeah.
we picked this, the runt out of this
Adaptability.
one. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
that's something that like obviously is undeniable. Like, yeah, viruses adapt and animals adapt, and they're constantly adapting to live. Um, but that doesn't mean that they can actually change their kinds or their natures. Now, with technology, I guess we're kind of running into this point where maybe we can try to, but it would be a really bad idea, I think. Because if we're not human anymore, then God didn't save that. He assumed our human nature. He didn't assume a transhuman nature. So if you make yourself transhuman, you're no longer grafted to the tree of life.
so is dabbling in something like that in even the slightest forms considered bad? Is scuba diving a bad idea because you want to go down and you'll have to put on an oxygen tank in order to do it because it does require us to actually make something to adapt us to our system to this system. But as long as it's not a permanent change, is it considered okay, or is it kind of just
Yeah.
slowly dabbling down the wrong road? Have you picked up the Ouija board, or are you playing with it now?
Well, like I would consider like the scuba diving and like glasses and all this. These are like augmentations that like it's like wearing a coat in the winter. It's like, yeah, we weren't
Yeah.
born with that, but you can wear animal skins now. Ever that started with the fall, really. We started wearing animal skins right then and there, as soon as we weren't clothed in light.
Curse. Yeah, I have to acknowledge you. It's good to see you, man.
The looking
Uh,
glass.
yeah, he said, "All right, you two have caught up. Uh, all right, you two have caught up to the conversation. Glad you two found each other and started a conversation together. Gotcha. What a gem of a movie. I think he was talking about the Minority Report. Don't talk like you didn't finish the document called Salu, the
Thank
Looking
you.
Glass. Um, I'm sure Mr. Newman has heard of the document, but might not have read or found it. I don't know which.
Phew, whew.
So there's actually a lot of
That's from
Looking Glass
projects.
related things.
Yeah, that's Project Stargate stuff, I think.
Is that the one where they had the remote viewing? Is that
Yeah.
Project Looking Glass?
Yeah, the magician in the laboratory stuff. Yeah, yeah, where they decided to put a bunch of taxpayer money into occultism, and they still do, like psionics and all that stuff. Like they're using that. Our
How
taxpayer
do we
money's going
know?
to that.
Okay, so how do we know that if this is just a regular ability that humans may be capable of, how do we know that it's not just something that we maybe lost the ability of over time? Like, as long as you're not adding anything to uh, God's creation, you know what I mean? You're not doing anything to alter your state. Is it just you um, using maybe all of your brain? I don't think we use a large portion of our brain. Do you think we have the ability to have, certain things that we're capable of doing without dabbling into occultism? Because asking for help from another source, I think, is dangerous.
Hmm.
That's where I think you start getting into more occultism when you have to call on somebody else to do the mission for you or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. But if it's done solely, because that's where I can almost fall with people with their beliefs on tarot cards. Like if you have to ask spirit, then you immediately are questioning, all right, who is the spirit I'm talking to, or who is the deity that I'm talking to, and that's giving me this information? Because that's where I think you're dabbling into occultism. But if it's just, I guess, a personal ability, is it a God-given ability, or is it something that is not of God? Because I don't think anything outside of God could have created the vessels that we're in, as long as we're not tapping into another source.
Yeah, I used to be an occultist, and tarot cards were a huge part of the Golden Dawn system. And so I knew how to read tarot and all that, and do it the Golden Dawn system way. And you have to appeal to something. What they say, if you're not appealing to a spirit, is your higher self.
For
But
tarot, I agree. I agree. For
yeah,
tarot, I agree. But I'm wondering if, like, if we're talking about something like telekinesis or astral projection or remote viewing, is
uh,
that the same thing? Are you maybe using something of your brain, or are you tapping into something else in order to achieve that?
well, I think God God has made certain, like, I don't believe in equality. I think that God makes people with different gifts, and people who have these abilities, I think they're actually meant to be saints. And the demons get a hold of them and try to fill them with pride, and they're like, "Man, if we can get this guy in hell, that will be great. Like, we would love to do that
So
because
you
this is
think
something that God really loves this person, but we're going to make him one of ours." Yeah.
so you think these people are maybe being used by the wrong people in real life, and that's what's, they're using their great gift for the wrong reasons, the wrong purposes. Because I can agree with that. I do think it would be not beneficial to God's will if the CIA is using people's remote viewing to find downed military ships or to help them in a military strategy. I don't think that's the same thing as, like, that to me is like the conflation of like Israel, the country, and the Jewish nation. Like, I don't think those two things are allowed to conflate. Like, if there's a gift from God that everybody can address, like this is a gift from God that we have here. I don't think we should mix government and military into any of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, yeah, I would say if you look at the lives of the saints, because that's something that we do as Orthodox, and the Catholics do it too. But you got all these saints that have clairvoyancy, they have telepathy, they have the ability to know where things are. Like, it seems like they have all these same kinds of gifts, but it's coming from the Holy Spirit. So it's like, all right, it seems like we're like vessels, like we're our image bearers. We're meant to hold some kind of spirit. And so if it's not the Holy Spirit, it can be a different kind of spirit. It could be a fallen angel instead. And they would love to be in the driver's seat. But it seems like we are designed to be inhabited by the Holy Spirit, or by some kind of spirit besides just our own. It's like what we're designed to do.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know if the life of Jesus kind of contradicts this idea I've composed in my head. I was under the impression for the longest time that the reason that God created us was to experience things on a 3D realm because he was not able to. And what a better way to do it than have all of these creatures all living different lives all simultaneously, and you could view and witness their experiences the best you could and the best you were able to. I feel like that would, like, God. I feel like God, when I originally found religion, it was for him to experience things through humans,
I had the
because it's
same
just like
ideas.
like, otherwise what would be the point of just, why would somebody raise an ant farm, like,
S- So
to be honest.
yeah, yeah, I'll tell you, because I used to have those beliefs, and it's a very like common occultic belief, because it does make logical sense. But if you look at God, and try to go a little bit beyond our logic here, he can do anything, and why he gave us life was because he loves us, and he has so much love. The Trinity is just, it is the culmination of love, because the Father loves the Son, and the Son loves the Father, and the Holy Spirit loves the Son, and vice versa. Like, all three of these are this perfect love. And we would say if it was just one, it would be like loneliness. And if it was two, there would be like a master slave relationship. But because there's three, there's this perfect harmony between the three persons of God. And out of his love, he decides to make creation and to give us uh, this glory, these, allow us to interface with his energies, because every being has to have both essence and energy. And we can, that's the glory of God. That's the mercy of God. There's lots of names for it. But out of his love, he decides to create angels and human beings and the plants and the animals. It's not because he needs us in any way, uh, because he's God. So he doesn't actually need us. He does it out of his love. And that's
So,
why he doesn't
and I
like
don't think
destroy
of
us
it.
either. Like there's nothing there that changes in his mind. He's
So I
just like,
don't
this
think
was a good
of.
thing to do.
I agree with you in the sense that there has to be something else there. Maybe you call it love, but I don't think it's out of necessity. There's no reason for him. I agree with you. It's not a need of his. I just thought of it as maybe he just wanted to see what would happen and check out the experiences of humans and see how they would live, see if he could make a divine creation, and almost live vicariously through them. Like, but no, I don't think it's a need by any means. Like, if he is the Almighty Creator, he has no need to do that. Like,
Yeah, it's more of a
yeah,
desire. It's like he
yeah,
wants. It's like and
because
this is
love and desire are really close. That makes a little bit more sense. Like, it could just be a passion about something. Like that. That to me makes a lot more sense.
yeah, like this is a bad analogy, but like think of like a Sims game. I remember I used to have one when I was young, and it was like a roller coaster park, and you can make your own roller coaster rides and the whole park and do the economy stuff. But there was a neat feature in the one that I had when I was a kid, and I'm sure they have this in all the Sims games now, where you can actually like inhabit one of the characters, and you
Yeah,
can like walk around and stuff. And it's like imagine if you love your creation so much that like you just want to commune with them, like eh, you know you just want to be a part of them, and that's what true love is. It's like when you love your wife, you want to be one with her, like you just want to be around her all the time and you want to be in her. That's, I don't want to get into the carnal thing, but like we can understand this on this level of like intimacy, and we use this kind of imagery, and we always tell people, put aside your carnal mind, because this is a spiritual understanding that
yeah.
God desires this mystical union with us, that we use the imagery of marriage.
Yeah, no, there's a big difference between, and I think that because this is what I wanted to dive into you with one time when we were over on Curse, but I didn't want to make it too much of a religious talk. When you described yourself as not a Western Christian,
Yeah.
uh, that immediately, like, okay, I was immediately thinking of relationships and how they work in the United States, because I don't think a lot of our relationships are based on love. They're like carnal, like like pleasure, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a lot more pleasure seeking. It's not for any kind of unity.
Yeah, it's
uh
contractual, isn't it? It's like I
yes,
I give you
very.
something, you give me something. We
Yeah,
we have this little deal worked out. Yeah.
yeah, no,
I
that's,
make the
yeah, and that's not the
money,
same
you take
thing.
care of the house. I have sex when I
Okay,
want to, you have sex when you want to. Yeah.
so is it who is it that comes up with the rules of religion in the Bible? The base, I mean, well, the rules of relationships, I mean. Who is it, Job, or who is God, I can't think of the guy's name now. It's gonna bug me. But that, like, there's only one man in the household, and women should be subservient to their wives as well, subservient to the father, God, and the man of the house should also be subservient to God. But it's just like, I do think that there is a I do think there is a structure in a household of committed people in a relationship. I don't think, I do, don't get me wrong. I do think it should be give and take. And I think opposite sex people complement each other in different ways. And I don't think it's always like as contractual as we make it out to be today. And I do think there's something for in weddings where the father gives his daughter away to the husband. I do think there is a leadership role of the father in a household, and I do think that's definitely something that is emphasized in the Bible,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think that is gone in Western society.
Yeah. Get rid of the patriarchy, right?
But I don't think it's necessarily a patriarchy, because and women actually would recognize this. Most women do. I don't think it's an illusion. But I think men by nature want to be the provider and want to be a caregiver and stuff like that. And they're not as nurturing as women. I think women are more nurturing and have a more divine nature to themselves that men just can't do. Like they're much better at child rearing than men are. And we're now in a society where men probably can't make enough money to live in that lifestyle that they want to portray. Like they want to be able to, if a woman didn't want to work, a guy would love to have that ability to just be like, oh yeah, I don't want my significant other to ever have to work a day in her life. If she doesn't want to, if she wants to, by all means, go out and make a little bit of money, whatever. It I don't think it's she has to abide by his rules, living in his house, and all of these other things. I think it's a relationship dynamic that has just been so skewed because of the society we live in today. You can't make enough money to support a household with one income most of the time. The majority of people, I don't know a lot of people that can and actually raise kids, have a significant other, and then just deal with the everyday things. Like I don't think it's physically possible. I don't know a lot
Yeah.
of, especially people my age, 35 and under. I'm turning 36 on Monday. I I'm
Happy early birthday. If I don't
well,
see you
thank you.
again. Yeah.
I'm just convinced that people have just gotten so far astray from being able to obtain those things in society, but still want that that ideal marriage. And it's just like, so the contract has been kind of like letting down on the woman's side, and it's just like, of course, a woman doesn't want to just be subservient to a man, and he's not taking care of all the bills, and he's not making me feel safe, and you know what I mean. I don't want to raise a kid in this environment. We don't have a home of our own. Like I could see why a woman would avoid something like that as well. And I don't know if it's because of society, if it's because men have gotten lazy. I don't know if we had a society of more active men, if it would actually fix it.
Yeah, I think we abandoned tradition for fairness, and we thought it would be more fair if we had like, women being able to get jobs. And like, I think there was probably a way to have done that without it going this way, but you know how corporations are, that they figure, man, women, first of all, we're going to double the workforce. We can pay everyone like basically half, and women you can pay way less because they don't ask for raises statistically as much as men do.
Yeah, that's my favorite statistic to debunk with people. They were like, women make, what is it, 75 cents to the dollar that every man makes. I was like, okay, then why isn't every company in the world ran by women? It's because it usually comes down to decision making and the amount of time that a guy puts into a job, asking for raises, things like that. It actually doesn't happen the same way with women. Women don't push for promotions or state their value as much as guys do. And it might be an ego thing with guys, thinking that they're worth more than they actually are. Because I think
Maybe.
it's a very common thing that I see people that work a minimum wage job and they want to get thanked for, doing the regular work they do. And it's just like, yeah, your thanks is the pay that you get that you agreed to. Like there is a certain level of compensation, but if you go above and beyond, and if they don't feel like they're recognized, that's when I think people should put, throw your ring in or throw your hat into the ring and be like, hey, I'm going above and beyond here. Do you want me to just go back to doing the basic things like make it so people can assess your value and put you in the right place that you need to be, I guess. I don't know. And it's gotten more and more like people younger than me, and I might be the last few generations of it. And I think there's more conservative kids growing up nowadays, but the workforce is so weird right now. I work a lot of manual labor jobs, and I'm also a mixed martial arts coach. I'm a landscape. I own a landscaping company, and I own a mixed martial arts gym with my buddy that we started. And just finding people that want to wake up and work, I can offer them 25 an hour, like starting, and it's not enough for anybody. And it's just like it's so strange to get people to just wake up and want to make money is hard because of the societal structures we have of the government wanting to make people reliant on the government. Like if you can make more sitting at home and not doing something and then getting taken care of, I could see why people would avoid being productive members of society.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like setting us up just to be replaced by AI.
Yeah,
Like,
that too.
is that Kanye?
No, that is Diamond Hectic. You better not go Kanye on me.
Here, I'll
What
be
up,
right back.
Simon?
I got to grab some water.
Oh, you're good. Oh, good to see you, sir.
How you doing, bro?
Not too bad. Just
Yeah.
hanging out.
You got a very opinionated way of uh displaying to the public really important points. Because at the end of the day, like don't get me wrong, like we had this whole debate over here about women and the fact that uh when you bring a woman out, if you're gonna date them, they shouldn't have the same portion as men do, right? There's a whole debate
Like
over
what?
here.
What type of portions are you talking about? Like what kind of
Like,
responsibility?
so let's say you take a woman out on a date, right?
Okay.
Um, they give you the same portion, so you're gonna order like a pasta or something. As it's gonna be
You're talking about portions of how much food they should get? No, I don't think they. I don't think
no,
they should get a
that's a
different
fact.
amount of
No,
food.
I'm serious. Like it's a
No,
law. It's a law. It's a
no, no.
law. So
Okay. So
they're
here's what I
saying
think.
like if your chick is turning around and eating the same kind of food you're eating on the same plate, then it's bad for her, right? That's what they're saying.
I'm fine as long as on the first date you're paying for the meal. She can eat whatever
Yeah,
she wants.
but what you're not checking is like she's eating the same portion size as you, but how does that work?
I don't care if she wants to. She can eat as much food as she wants. I don't have
Right.
an
So
issue with
they they
a girl eating eating a lot of dinner.
they've made it a law that
Who has made this a law? Who are you talking about?
in England they've made it a
Right.
law that ladies should have a 75% reduction in terms of the same meal you're having if you go out on a date or eating with your sibling.
That might have a okay. So let me catch up, Mister Newman, a little bit. This is our London correspondent, Simon Patrick,
Oh,
and I would, and I know you're not going to like this, Simon, but I would think if anything, if more rules are getting put and applied to women, I think that has to do with the influx of people that are moving into to England at the moment,
oh,
and
you the Muslims?
I would, yeah, I would,
Wait,
because
wait. Did he just say
Simon's
Muslims?
yes,
Wow.
Muslims, yes, he did,
Okay,
and
so
I
okay,
remember the last conversation we had, Simon. I asked you what the number one baby name was in England,
yeah,
and I told you it was Muhammad.
yeah. Okay,
And
so
you told me that
I,
there's no
I,
Muslim
yo,
influence in
I'm
England, and I
starting
think
to get.
there is.
All right, I appreciate it, but I'm starting to get a feeling that you guys are obsessed with Islam.
I'm not. I think Islam is a heresy, though.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't enough to put Saddam Hussein in a hole, and get your
No,
kicks off. Well,
no,
okay, so
no. I
you're
don't
gonna
think
put you're
so.
gonna push it. You're gonna push it a bit.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I,
I just don't want their way of treating women or their way of following their religion to affect the Western world.
Let me share this video out. This is a cool one. Okay, so
I'm not just going to share a video. What do you tell me about it?
now I'm gonna share you. I'm gonna share your video.
Oh, okay. You can share my video. Yeah,
Hit
sure.
hit the like button,
Simon,
subscribe, and
are you a
share.
Muslim?
Hell no,
Oh, okay. So
Why?
why do you
Why do you
care?
say hell no? Why do you say hell no?
Yeah. Why'd you say it like that?
because my roots is not entwined with that. Like Muslim people do some crazy shit. I don't.
Whoa! Are you obsessed with Muslims? What are you saying here? Yeah, come on, man.
This guy.
Can we all just get
No,
along?
but you can't categorize them. Like it's not everybody. It's not everyone. You know what I mean? Well, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
no, not everyone. Just
Look,
No,
the
not
religion
everyone.
itself.
But
The religion
but
itself is a heresy,
I'll
though.
give you an example. Okay,
no,
I'm
no, no.
not.
The religion itself, compared to Christianity, even Christianity in the United States, is
Mm,
way worse, and it hasn't evolved. The best example is their prophet, their leader, is okay with pedophilia. I think he consummated his marriage at the age of 9 with his wife. They
Well,
promote
she was
beating their
9.
wives.
He was much
Yeah, she
older.
was
Yeah.
9. He was much older. and they were together before that, but he didn't consummate it until she was 9. Yeah, just bizarre things. Just the way that you're Sharia law that there's hadiths that are specific that people still follow. Like it's not like a small amount of people that we're talking about. It's not like a small amount of people in the Muslim nation altogether. Most Muslim nations have a lower IQ because of inbreeding, because you're allowed to marry your cousins and stuff in the Muslim religion. And the average IQ, I think, in most Muslim countries is around 70. Like this isn't like a crazy thing to say. Like it's actually
No, but
factual.
I mean, the thing is like when you say things like that,
yeah, facts hurt people's feelings sometimes. I agree.
it's not. No, wait. Like you gotta be careful. It's not like a factual thing. Okay, we know. Okay?
It is a factual thing. I promise.
Well, no, it's not. Not at all. Like if
what
you actually
about
look,
it's not factual?
well, go and look at the statistics. Like
Yeah.
no, it's not factual. Boy,
Yeah, Muslim people
like,
are allowed to marry their cousins.
you
Yes.
can't.
Ilhan Omar in the United States married her brother.
Jacob, please. You can't group a whole bunch of
I don't.
humanity and go, okay, they all in the same category. No, they ain't.
I don't do that.
You get these like weirdos. You know what I'm saying? Like in any society, like where is black, white, what? You know what I'm saying? Green, yellow, Simpsons, whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, it's like we're gonna come across them as military people. So it's just like, yo, you can't categorize and go, oh, everybody's the same. But I give you that.
So let me give you a good example.
I don't.
Simon, let me give you a good example on a different religion. I don't hold Christians responsible for the Christian Crusades because I don't think those were a teaching of God.
There was no Christian Crusades. What are you talking about, bro?
There were. Yeah, there were. Yeah.
The Roman
they went around killing non-believers. Yeah.
Who told you that?
It's just
history. Yeah, the Orthodox actually, that Constantinople got sacked by the Roman Catholic Church.
Yo, bro. Don't get me wrong, but you look like a whole nerd. At the end of the day, like this is some academic shit. And at the end of the day, nerds deal with theory,
if I want to talk academic stuff, then I'm asking a nerd. I don't know about you, but
it's theory. No, you have to like.
Nerd's not a bad term like you think it is. Simon.
I'm a nerd. I'm a total nerd. Don't get me wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? I just do it in a different way.
Yeah, you just nerd about different things. You're a nerd about music. You're a nerd about music. Mr. Newman likes history, and I would say he's pretty religious. It's interested in history, likes history.
Yeah, but let's get back to it. Let's go into history. Like, so I mean, you're trying to talk about. Oh my lord, is that?
No. Point back to the guy above you. Never mind. Don't mind me.
We're gonna get into some beefsteaks and shit over here with this dude. Okay, I'm just saying, like, let's put it back. Okay, historically, Daniel, I know you know because I can see the smirk on your face. I'm like, okay, tell me the storyline as to what happened when Western civilization actually took place.
So hold on. Let me address the last thing before we get too far away. The Christian Crusades were a series of religious wars primarily fought between 1095 and 1291, initiated by the papacies to reclaim the Holy Land of Jerusalem from Muslim control, starting with Pope Urban II calls to arms at the Council of Surmount.
You damn right.
1095 and largely concluded with the fall of the last Crusader stronghold at Ars in 1291. Well, several major crusades occurred during this period. Smaller campaigns against heretics and Muslims in Spain also took place. So yes, there was definitely Christian crusades.
Yo, Daniel, why are you yawning like that?
What's that?
Why are you yawning?
Because I got like 2 hours of sleep last night. I woke up at like I woke up at like 7, and then
you
I
know
was at
you're on
church.
a panel and you're showing
Then
your
I
face.
streamed for 6 hours. Well, no,
You
not 6
think your
hours. 4
tongue's
hours.
attractive? I want to hear your brain, bro.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, so you asked me when did Western civilization start? I would say probably
Yes.
probably the
Yes.
Greeks. The Greeks,
Mm.
I would say, were largely, they
Amazing.
started it.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? Wait, so I thought he was gonna go on. Wait, God damn. He looks so geeky. I was just like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, you gonna give me
Simon?
something more than that? Mm-hmm.
Simon,
I'm
you're
not-
gonna have to give me something more than that before you get thrown off
I
the panel.
can't. That's a problem. Like, you know,
I need something substantial besides you coming on here just trying to make fun of people.
I don't want to outdo, bro. Like, he looks like the people.
Damn, why you gotta point out the only thing that Simon does on anybody's show?
Every once in a while, he has this spur of, I got nothing to say. But it takes him 20 minutes to think.
Okay. I have a question for Simon because this is definitely in his neck of the woods. Simon, have you heard about the UN? Okay, Mr. Waters, you might have to hit me with the taser. Have you heard about the UN doing some kind of planetary defense experiment on 3i Atlas?
Yeah, Bush done that like 5 years ago. He was talking about Star Wars, bro. That's old school.
Simon, 3i Atlas was not around that long ago.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
what?
around,
You don't
it
know
just
about
wasn't in ours.
technology? Are you crazy? Look,
I'm just asking, has it been around on the news? You get what I'm saying, right, man?
Right,
Come on.
Let's
Simon,
go.
Simon.
Good question. Good
I've
question.
known
He's
about it,
talking
Chris,
about, Simon, he's talking about current events. Let's not talk about the Stargate or what? Yeah, you're talking about when they're blowing up
this
nuclear
shit happened
weapons
like
above.
within the past 10 days that this was acknowledged that it's going to go on, where the UN is going to do some kind of planetary defense system experiment or check or simulation or something against 3i Atlas. And
Right. So can you like just give us a bit of a dose of what you understand about it?
I mean, I could tell you a little about it
that's
too.
about it. That's about it, because all I know is UN decided to do this, and nobody is talking about it. Like, very few people actually know.
I can tell you about it, but it's just like,
Mr. Newman, Mr. Newman, why don't you tell us what you've heard about it?
All right, so 3i Atlas. Do you want to know everything about it, or do you just want to know about
Just
like,
what,
the
just
slave
what
stuff?
the,
We
just
wanna
what
hear
I want to know about
and what you know
the
about.
planetary defense experiment.
So
Planetary defense experiment.
They are doing the planetary defense experiment to track 3i Atlas in case if we ever have a incoming like asteroid or comet that would affect the planet. They want to see if all the amateur astronomers out there could work together to track this thing. And so they want every single eye looking at 3i Atlas and giving you their data so they can send it to the UN and they can like crunch the numbers and see if anything strange is happening. And it's like, for they're claiming it's just to prove whether or not we can do that in case we ever actually have a threat. They're saying 3i Atlas won't actually impact us, of course. It's supposed to go right in the Hill radius of Jupiter, actually. After perihelion, it adjusts its course so that it's going to go right to the Hill radius, which is like the perfect spot to park some satellites. It's a pull between Jupiter and the sun, so it can just stay there, and you never have to worry about it. Like,
Can I ask you a question?
We should just ask the Vatican. I feel like they would know.
Do you
Don't
know
they
how
have,
many?
They have a telescope.
Yeah, they have a chronovisor.
Yeah, but
That was
what's
really
their,
good.
And we
chronovisor.
acquired the Nazi Bell.
Hey,
And we
okay,
acquired
outside
the
of-
Nazi
don't talk about the
Bell.
chronovisor.
I love
Before
that
We have
shit.
two
I
different
would love-
television
Really good.
screens showing us the same damn thing. So what's your problem, man? We have the
I was
chronovisor and the Nazi Bell. They're looking at both of them, telling us what's going to happen. That's how come we know what's going to occur.
No, you got that shit twisted. We
Hold on.
like, you keep turning around like acting like aliens are out there. No, we are the aliens, bro. What are you
Aliens are
talking about?
demons. That's
No,
what they
we
are.
are the aliens.
My dog,
We
if
put-
anything came from another star system, they would look at us as the zoo hypothesis.
Right, do you have any evidence of like
we're
there's some
insignificant if they have the ability to travel between star systems. Just think about it in a scientific sense for a half a second.
I don't doubt that. I don't.
And
I've time traveled in my life. I don't know if you've ever experienced that
Excuse
shit.
me.
Mm-hmm. Exactamundo. You know what I'm saying?
No, wait
Talk
a
to
minute.
the wrong guy, bro. But I'm
Just,
gonna let Mr.
Exactamundo.
Waters take me back real quick because
don't
I was
just
flipped
drop-
over him.
you don't just drop out time
I'm gonna
travel before.
Yeah, Jacob, what
Yeah.
do you want to do with this conversation here?
We're okay. First off, what is the name of the telescope that is ran by the Vatican? Does anyone know?
Well, no, it's not technically Lucifer. I know that's what you're thinking it is, but technically that's not owned by the Vatican. That's right next to the Vatican telescope.
Can
okay.
I ask
I
you?
looked
Wait
into
a
that.
It's
second.
not actually
Can I
owned
ask you a
by
question?
okay, good.
Not
on
actually the
on
Vatican's,
road,
yeah.
on the road to roll with your answer. Okay, you said Lucifer.
Yeah, it's called Lucifer.
Do you believe in Lucifer?
I believe that Satan exists, and I think he.
No,
must be
I
called
ain't talking
Lucifer.
about saying you said Lucifer.
So Lucifer's a title, and so we can give that title to the Theotokos if we wanted to, because she's not the
the
light bearer.
Theotokos. Really?
Yeah, the God bearer, the mother of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mother
yeah,
Mary.
Simon, calm down. Mr. Newman has some big words that might hurt you.
But isn't Lucifer supposed to fit like son of the morning?
No,
Like,
you can't turn around and
The
say
morning
like,
star.
associate.
And Christ ends up
Satan
calling
with
himself the morning
Lucifer.
star. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
Lucifer is not
it-
Satan. They are two completely different people.
Well,
It's a title.
Lucifer, yeah, it's a title. I agree. And so is Satan, actually.
Yeah, that means adversary.
Or the devil. I think those are all
Nah, that's
titles.
mediocre. Like when
No.
you
Lucifer
like,
for
most,
me. You're welcome.
most
That's
people
like
turn
the-
around and go, "Oh, yo, knowing the ark, right?" And you would go, "Oh, Lucifer has some part in it." No,
Simon.
Lucifer does not have no part. Lucifer's the fallen angel at the end of the
Simon,
day.
how many
Like
different names for God?
Satan is the god of Lucifer. He was the one that sent him down. You know what I'm saying? That's command. It's a different thing.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Simon. How many different names for God do you think there are?
How many different names do you have, bro?
How many different names do I have? Me
Yeah,
personally,
your
or
name,
for
your name is
God?
Bob, Billy Bob, Bully Bob.
No, my
Jimmy
name's just
Jane.
Jacob.
Every time you want to
It's
turn
actually a
around
biblical name.
and get dressed in it, fancy for you want to dress up.
Hey, I know one of those names. His name is Jealous.
I know
But,
that
but
you're.
no, I
in your
think God can
I
be
know
called.
you're
I
in
think
your
God can be
backyard
called
and
many,
you
many
pull
things
your
as well.
lady's panties on. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn into a completely different person because you want to act like a female. Yeah, I'm talking about you, girl.
You think I put?
Yeah. Fire the flare gun at him. Let him get a warning.
Getting ready. It was getting ready to happen. Actually, I hovered my finger over your face for a second, and I was like, wait a minute, let's steer on this.
Yeah, he did point the flare gun at you. I know he did.
What thought process gives you the idea that I'm a cross?
I know how you do because you're just an AI, bro. Like, there's no way you're showing your face.
Wait a minute, never mind.
AI, bro.
There's no way you're showing your face. So
Simon thinks it's dead internet. Simon thinks it's dead internet.
You're talking to me, Simon. What are you talking about?
There's no way.
Do you think I'm an AI too?
The only reason
show me your fingers, Mr. Newman.
People come on panels and talk some shit is because you got something to hide, bro.
Now intertwine them.
Yo, and at the end of the day, you don't want to be wrapped up in that.
You passed the AI
that
test.
Epstein shit, you don't.
But that won't work in 6
been
months.
Parties and all that shit, and that's cool.
True.
You know, that's cool.
Simon, the phrase, the sentence you just said though was people that come online and talk shit are trying to hide something. All you've done since you come on here is talk shit. What are you trying to hide?
I mean, you can say that, but I show my face. That's my real face.
Yeah,
my
show
name is
your
Simon.
face. Chris, your
my name is Simon. My name is Simon. I ain't got shit to hide.
My name is Jacob Waters. My name is Jacob Waters. I don't have a. What? My name's not cunt. My girlfriend says my name's cunt.
No. I know you're white, dude. Why you put up a black
I'm Mrs. Waters.
What are we doing, bro? Seriously. You know, like at the end of the day,
I had a wife.
No, you're a white person, okay? Why are you putting up a black fool's avatar?
Green. You're green, Simon. You're green.
No, I'm gonna check you. I'll come into your house and shoot you.
Simon.
Look, don't
come to your house and
you don't
shoot
even
you.
know.
Simon. The picture is not of a black man. That is a picture of Curse Zero. It's not a black man. You're a black man from London, and it's okay that you're a black man. I don't have a problem with it. But you also have your camera off. I don't understand how you're saying this about everybody else.
This is a classic internet move. People talk so much smack when they don't show their own face.
Right.
We've seen Simon, but Simon likes to hide. But Simon is the same way with or
No,
without.
I'll get
Simon
you.
is
You know
crazy.
I'll get you.
He just shows off. Simon shows off. Mr. Newman, Simon will pull off like he'll show us like 1,500-pound notes just to make us pissed off.
Only reason,
can you do this?
The only reason this fool over here is turn around and go like, because he's rich.
Well, I'm glad that you have confetti, buddy. You have things that make your things do things.
He throws all these
I'll do the
yacht
hearts
parties.
next.
He throws all these yacht parties, and he's got all these chicks in the back, and he knows like it's like, you know, you invite a black man over to that shit, and it's like it's over. You know what I'm saying? Because
Simon, down boy, down boy.
I respect you because I know you're doing some white people shit, but I'm just saying,
hey bro, don't look at me like that. I'd have paid my workers. My workers would not have been. My workers would have been paid.
I know you're rich.
Simon, are you saying that I'm white?
You are white and rich.
Oh my goodness! Here we go. Here we go. Just back up.
This motherfucker over here. I ain't
let Mr. Newman have some fun. He never has fun.
You know why he cut me up? Because I know, like, I got babies.
Go ahead, Mr. Newman. You're allowed to.
Turn around.
I'm sure Abraham's God will forgive you. You're allowed to.
Yeah, well, I probably should. Now that you say that, Curse Zero, that reminds me I should be on my best behavior at all times.
No, oh, yeah.
It's true. I am a white man, but I'm not rich. Actually, I'm not rich.
Who is rich, bro? We're broke.
You are lying. What are you talking about?
Every damn one of us is a proletarian, except for somebody that tells us what the fuck to do.
Well,
prove me wrong.
Well, I would say I'm rich compared to like most humans on this planet, but not to most Americans. I'd say I think I'm pretty average there.
Stop playing around.
Yeah, I would say Mr. Newman's riches aren't monetary.
And change your fucking avatar. That's weird. It ain't fucking Tina's fucking Turner. Like, stop that shit. There you go.
I'm just
be yourself. Be yourself. You know what I mean? This motherfucker over here want to run his mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
And he wait a second.
Take it easy. Take it easy, Calderon.
I'm just saying. I know.
You're the only one running the mouth.
I know what that sword is. What's the sword? What's the sword of? The sword of the spirit? Yeah, show him what the sword of the spirit is all about.
Like, he want to talk like, oh, I'm going to come on YouTube and like say some shit. No, bruh. I got friends in the party.
Come on, man.
I know who you are.
I know you can think of some reason to be a warrior. I know there's a reason why you people actually fight.
You people.
Yo,
no, I'm talking to Mr. Newman. Mr. Newman knows exactly what I'm trying to do. And he's being such a good boy. He's so fucking awesome.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up. This
Say something, Mr. Newman.
Don't look at me like somebody get a word in edgewise.
Nah, but it's cool. Like, I appreciate when someone that actually is on my level could tell me I'm a free man based on the fact that, you know, we went through slavery and stuff like that. This motherfucker over here, he has inherited.
I have paid my workers, bro.
Shut the fuck up, How?
Shut up. Shut up. Arrow 304. Calm down.
Over here
Calm down. Calm down with all your money, bro. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your plastic.
I know you're.
Yeah, your shit's made out of plastic. That's true, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how.
Your quote paper money is made out of quote plastic.
Master.
Look, I have one of these. That's how rich I am.
Mm-hmm. Look, Mr. Newman pulled out his badge.
Yep, this is what I show people. Look.
What the fuck is that?
Shows that I'm a cop. Can't you see?
Ooh.
Now slide it to the opposite one, the dark-haired one, so the other people can see it. No, the other way, Mr. Newman. Almost.
Yo, Jacob, you got some sound effects.
Now you're flashing everybody. Seizure warning.
Oh, why are you flashing that?
I don't know. Showing you something I have. You're saying I'm rich. You know, I have that.
No, Daniel. What does that mean to you? Because that's significant. Let's go.
It's a dipthok.
What does that mean?
It basically is a portable icons that you can carry with you. So I have an icon of Jesus Christ and an icon of Saint Nicholas of Myra.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're a good. You sound like a good guy. So it's just like.
I tried to.
You sound
Okay,
like a-
okay. I vote Mud kicks Simon out of his seat
Shut
If,
up.
so
Shut
that
up.
Mud and Mr. Newman can interact.
oh, I
Me
have a
and-
feeling.
yo,
I have a
if we
feeling
were-
if she would make it up, that would be the switch that would happen. But I don't know if she's available.
I'm telling you, Mr. Newman, you're going to like Mud.
Yo, bro.
I like the
where-
song "Mud" by
Where you
Primus.
wrong at?
Mud Rabbit.
Wait,
Mud
yo.
Rabbit in chat. If Mud
What
Rabbit
name
comes
is
up here,
Mud.
I think you two are going to click. You're going to like each other because you're both Christians, and I'm going to say it that way.
Oh, no.
Oh, look, bro.
She's one of them. Don't worry. If she wants to be, she will be. But she'll talk to you, man. It's awesome. It's like we won't have to fight over the canon because she gets it. She gets it on a different level than most quote Christians. Is what I'm trying to say.
She's definitely a God.
That's good. I'm going to church tomorrow. Like church tomorrow is gonna be good. I love that shit.
Good.
But yo,
What church
I
you go
mean,
to?
What kind of church? Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing. What kind of church you go to, Simon?
St. Michael's, like,
Catholic or Orthodox?
no, it's Church of England. I'm actually
Anglican.
I'm actually Catholic.
Ow, that hurt my tongue, Mr. Newman.
Yeah, but you're a cop.
And so what's the difference in Anglican teachings to the Catholic Church?
Oh yeah, let's split this cannon. Fire!
Yeah. Do you know the differences, Simon?
Yeah, it's just like kind of different. Like, you know, I was brought up in the Catholic Church, so I had like a nun. We went to school, like the school church was next door and stuff. And like our headmaster used to whip us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like boarding school, but he used to whip. You know, like you can't like just rock up like these foolish motherfuckers. Not being bad or nothing, but I'm just saying. Like you can't just have earrings and stuff. Like we had choir masters. I love the Catholic school. You know what I'm saying? Because it taught me discipline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And so now you go to an Anglican church. Is there reason for that? Like, is there a theological reason or just convenience?
No, it's really about, you know, do you have children, bro?
No, I'd love to. I had to find.
Yeah.
a wife first.
So look, I look, hit me up when you do, because it's like you need to have your child positioned in the right school, and I had to pay $1,000 just to make her assessment happen.
I'm gonna try to homeschool if I can. Actually, you know.
No, you're not capable. You don't even don't do that.
Some
Wow.
people are, some people aren't. You know, some people have their skills.
I'm telling you, like from bang, like, and you know, you became my friend in about 60 seconds. I'm telling you, you're not. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you think I wouldn't make a good teacher?
that's not anything to do with it. I'm just saying it's not about being a teacher. It's about being a parent. It's a complete different thing. Completely. And like, yo, and I understand like a lot of people want to homeschool. I did that in the first instance with my child. I was like, yo, I don't want my child dealing with this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we know,
You know what's out there. Yeah.
we know it. You know, so it's like I'm not. But I was like, yo, you can't because you're literally. I'll tell you something, right? If you're gonna homeschool your child, you're literally setting up a business, basically, because they're gonna do all types of checks on you. You know what I'm saying? Like you run a business, and then you're gonna actually register your business. You know what I'm saying? So you're ultimately now not thinking about the child. You're thinking about your business. And you can't do one or the other. Like it's very hard for people to compartmentalize. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult. And you got like you get consumed. There's only so many hours in the day. You can't like people want to come around here and, like watch movies. Nah, it's Superman. No, 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 not at all. What do you think, Daniel?
Well, I think you raise a good point that it might take too much time. In which case, probably like a hybrid approach, like a co-op, like use charter schools, use tutors. But for some of the things, I think parents are supposed to be part of. They're their primary teachers, and even if you put your kids in public school, you should still be the primary teacher. I think. I went through public school and I turned out pretty okay, but I was pretty lucky as well. I know kids these days are getting it way worse than I got it. Lots of really weird things they're trying to put in these kids' minds. I was a liberal, though. I tell you that much. They kind of indoctrinated everyone. to be
Yeah,
liberal.
I don't even know what liberal means. Like
Mm.
people
It's
tout
changing.
like I don't know what liberal means. Like people tout certain things. In terms of like um, you know, a mountain in a conversation or a word, and it's just like I don't even know what that means. It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be liberal when I walk and want to get my coffee to get to work. I'm gonna speak to this girl. It's like, do you know what liberal means? I swear to God, like 9 times out of 10, she gonna turn around and go, I don't give a fuck about that shit. I really don't. You know? Mm.
Yeah, well, I think we're way too political here in America. Everybody's, at each other's throats over politics. I think it's stupid.
Why do you think it's
I
stupid?
just got back from smoking a cigarette. Is Mud in the basement and Mr. Waters is distracted? Is that what's going on?
I think so.
He
Hey,
just
Mud.
turned around. He had
Mud.
a jacuzzi bath, and he was just like in salt water and going, "Oh, I need to think."
Mud.
Hello.
Did you wash your hands, Jacob?
Oh my lord! What is
Oh,
this chick?
somebody turn up her volume.
No, don't do that to me, please. That's my like Achilles heel. This girl. Okay,
What girl?
go
Your
ahead.
mic is a little
Turn up
low.
her volume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mudrabbit.
I don't know where your microphone is, but even Mr. Newman can't hear you, and I'm using an external speaker like I always do. But Mr. Newman can't hear you because he got headphones on. And he's like, I can't hear you, bro. I can't hear you.
Well, I can
can't
hear
hear you,
her,
yo.
but it sounded very low. It sounded very low.
Oh, bring my back.
She gonna
What's
fix
up?
this shit.
Oh, you can't talk about a lady like that. What's up with you? Are
What
you
the
a
hell's wrong with you,
gentleman?
Simon? What the hell's wrong with you,
Gotta-
Simon?
You,
What the hell's
you
always
know,
wrong with you, Simon? Why you always gotta fuck with shit?
act like a gentleman.
Stop tripping over wires, Simon.
Oh, you got a smutty mouth.
Yeah, I got a smitey mouth.
Smitty mouth.
Smitey.
You got a bad mouth, girl.
What?
God damn. I play some Martin Luther King over here.
Did you say play some Martin Luther King over here?
What?
Try it again, Mudrabbit, and see if I have to turn it up.
Exactamundo. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna play some Martin Luther
Turn it up.
Mudrabbit, are you there?
Mhm.
Hello? Can you hear me, Mudrabbit?
I have a dream.
No.
All right. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to hear other people. Mudrabbit, can you hear us? I could hear you like slightly in the background. I tried to turn up your volume, and then it I don't know if it disconnected.
Volume.
Got disconnected.
What's up with that volume, bro? What was that about? I ain't never heard Mr. Waters with some kind of accent like that. He said volume.
Volume?
You said volume. Dang, man. It's them, Mr. New. Oh my gosh, I think I heard her.
Yeah, I heard something that I wonder. Are you trying to change your mic settings? Maybe.
Yeah, I blame them, the infamous them that Mr. Newman doesn't want to acknowledge exists anymore. But yeah, it's their fault because Mud is one of the coolest people ever, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man.
When you say them, what do you mean by that? You mean the Jews?
You know exactly what I mean by that. The people in
You talking
people
about
in
the
control
Jews?
that tell us which way to wipe our asses. You know what I'm saying, man.
I don't think the Jews are in charge of everything. I think, if you want to talk about a them that's in charge of things, pulling the strings would be the demons. Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
all these
I can
different
agree with you,
Kabbalistic
bro.
groups.
There's layers to this. This is an onion.
Only with God's approval, though.
Well, not necessarily God's approval, because they're in rebellion against God. It's just that God can use them for His plan.
Come
I
on,
know,
man.
but it still seems
Yeah.
it still
You
seems
just said
like there's
exactly
a
what was going down,
symbiotic
bro.
relationship. Sorry, I was having a conversation next to me.
Yeah.
My significant other just got back from a show, and our daughter was in a show tonight, and she was just giving me updates, and it looks like it went well.
Nice. Is it
Yeah.
a Christmas
Yeah,
show?
Mr. Newman.
It's like madrigals. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's just like almost like a classical singing group, and they like dress like almost in medieval times. They sing songs about Christ. They sing a bunch of different like older songs.
Okay.
And it is somewhat Christmas related, but it's just more of a, I don't know what you call it. It's Celtic, maybe. I don't know. It's
So,
it's a
getting
very
back to the
interesting
slice of the cake.
question.
Getting back to the slice of the cake. So, yeah, Mr. Newman. So, God already knows all this was going down, right? So, basically, everything that the demons are doing is according to GP, right? God's plan, right? Get it?
Well, God does. He's in command of all things, and as the primary cause, and we believe in secondary causes. Both the Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox think about secondary causes.
So, okay, so you,
I want to figure out what's going on with Mudrabbit's.
Yeah, we can't hear
microphone.
Mud, just interrupt us.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on with her microphone. We can't hear you right now. And I see her typing in the chat, so I was like, hold on, let's get this fixed, and maybe we'll get you speaking. Hello, boss man. Good to see you. But yeah, I don't know why she came in real quiet. The second time she came in, she never said a word. The little bit you guys heard, that was actually my significant other next to me. And I was muting at the same time. So you did hear a girl's voice, but it wasn't that girl. But hello, Gonzo. And all right, so let's get back to God's plan here. Sorry, cursed. I didn't mean to. Got to catch up.
Yeah, that was the point. Like you just said, primary and secondary. Just to sum up what Mr. Newman said, so I can run into my statement about. I think Mr. Newman understands, and a few other people like Mr. Waters understands that I only have one or two big gripes with God, and all the little gripes are with Satan and Lucifer and all them demons down there, and that adds up to equaling like the two or three things that I have against God itself, because of the plain and simple fact that, yeah, man, come on. If we was made in the image, you can't deny that we was made in the image. That's within all the words, the canon. So basically, we are replicas or similar to. So that's why I come to the understanding of where we are 3 in 1, that we can be separated. Like you also state something like, another body we will get once we have passed from here. Don't you say that? We don't obtain the same body, right? This is not the same body we have in eternity.
On the base level of that, though, Mr. Newman said this to me earlier when we were talking about this, is there is a divine nature to him challenging us and making us stronger in ourselves, I guess. And I guess that would make us strong in him as well.
Yes, I agree.
Challenge is a good thing. Like I'm not upset that we get challenged. I'm almost, the only thing I'm upset with is that people have trouble contemplating the relationship. But I do think there is a relationship there, and I don't think people want to admit that there's a relationship there.
That's what I'm stating. We're all growing, and that's the point. Each one of us have some kind of breath in us. That's the soul, so to speak, the spirit, the energy, etc., the actual consciousness. We have our minds, which is the other part of us that we can deliberate with and discern with and think about things, so to speak. And we have the body. So 3 in 1 right there. And that all becomes separated and put back together whenever everything comes new and becomes old at the same time. You get what I'm trying to say here, right, Mr. Newman? Excuse the very last thing I said. That was a little mixed up.
No.
I hear Mudrabbit. Holy crap.
Let's hear Mud. Yeah.
I have a question for Zero. Do you honestly think we're in this physical form after we move on?
No. We have like this energy ethereal. We have an ethereal energy within us that actually is controlling what we have. It's similar to controlling an avatar in a sense, as well as we're trapped within reality. And once we progress and grow and have enough challenges to be considered, I mean, we as
So
an
you're
entire
talking about the
entity,
spirit, right?
correct.
Yeah, I would say that's like more of a Gnostic understanding because they believed that we would just have a spiritual body,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't have. So what the Eastern Orthodox would say is that we will be rejoined with our glorified body, so that when the
I,
resurrection happens, like we will be restored. He'll
that's
restore
what
us
I'm
to it.
getting to as well, Mr. Newman, where we
Yeah.
have a different tangible form once we excel to that point.
Yeah,
But
and
our
we have a
ethereal
glimpse.
form goes into that, is what I'm stating. We get self-residual imagery is a word used in the Matrix, so to speak.
Well, like so the thing to consider with the glorified body is that it is also considered a spiritual body in the sense that you can do things like Jesus Christ could do things after he was resurrected and before the ascension that like no human could do. Like he could be in multiple places at once
It's
and
a higher
just appear.
density body. Yeah.
It also was able to show his wounds,
Yeah,
which so it wasn't a healed body in the sense of like he could have healed those wounds if he didn't want to, like if he wasn't trying to prove, I guess, who he was.
yeah,
I
Yes,
mean,
because
he had
it's
to
because of
do
what
that.
Thomas said. Thomas said,
Yeah,
"Unless I
he had to do
see
that
the
for one of the
wounds."
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just why he ensured to keep the wounds for that appearance specifically.
Yeah.
I
And
can
I'll-
this
agree
is where
with
we
all
get
that.
into like this is where we get into like weird zombie talk. I feel like we've gone down this road before.
Jesus was a lich. I'll throw it down. If you want me to send you the meme of the explanation, Jesus was a lich. Let's move forward.
He wasn't. I don't like that. I've seen it before. You know,
Yeah.
I was in occult circles before this. You got to keep in mind. I've seen like all these memes. These are old memes.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm old school, Mr. Newman.
Yeah.
You don't realize how
Outdated
bad this
ideas.
stuff ages you.
What's that?
Outdated ideas don't make you old school.
You don't realize how bad this stuff actually ages you.
Oh
And
yeah.
not in a
Well,
physical sense. Not in a physical sense, Mr. Newman.
I do know it's spiritual death. Yeah. It fills you with pride. You fill yourself with yourself, and you die that way. It's like if we can only imagine if a cow started trying to eat meat or like started trying to eat like dirt, like he would eventually die. Like we have to eat what we're supposed to eat, and we're supposed to eat God. That's what actually heals us.
Okay. So
Do it.
are you against getting things from the store or like processed foods? Are you?
Oh, I mean in a spiritual consumption sense. I mean that we.
I know, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the
could lead down-
self-residual body, remember?
Well, regardless, you still got to take care of your meat suit while you're here. I mean, your meat suit's somewhat important, not in the grand scheme of things, but just to be able to wake up every day. I feel like, and I
See
do
you later,
feel like
boss
we're poisoning ourselves.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot about the food supply that I feel like other people are more qualified to talk about than me. I know just a little bit about it, but yeah, I think they're trying
That's
to
what I'm
poison.
talking about.
Our food is
people
getting
in control.
poisoned. Yeah, I mean, like
That's
there's
what I'm talking about. People in control of us, Mr. Newman, man. We're brainwashed. We're poisoned. We're all these crazy words that they make us have because of the chemicals they have put in everything.
I'm sick and
we can
tired of them
agree.
putting chemicals in the water. Turn the freaking frogs gay.
This is
Well,
obvious.
Ugh.
Gynandromorphic fucking is real. This stuff
But
really
I think-
goes on, and that you know what I'm talking about the people in control. It's not some crazy theory that people have come up with. It's
Yeah,
it's essentially.
without
Hero,
thinking of
you
it-
But if we talk
have a
about it, it's
measure.
bad.
You have a measure of control over your temple, and by knowledge is power. And when you understand those things, then you can affect it. You can eat right, you can do the things right for your body, and you can avoid a lot of the things that are traps here for illness.
Correct.
But without
You
thinking
can't-
about it,
collapsing the wave function.
guys,
Go ahead, Mr. Waters.
without thinking about it like religion or just politics or anything like that or government, it's these things are taking a grasp at our humanity, and that's what they're taking from us. Either it's day by
Mhm.
day, or they're shortening our lifespans, or like you were talking about transhumanism earlier. Some of the things that we are taking are making us, like I would say, are even transing humans. Like I know
That's the
the
fever
Alex
dream of
Jones
the deep
reference
state.
is a joking thing, but it is a real thing.
Yeah,
Like
it's very
it
real.
is a scary thought.
Yeah, that's the best part about that meme is there actually is aspartame in the water that turned the frogs gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prove
And
it.
then,
And
no,
there's
yeah.
Teflon in all of us, bro. We've consumed Teflon. We've
Yeah.
consumed fluoride. There's so many chemicals in our body because of things that they have done that they don't want us to retell about.
Do you really think that is intentional, or do you think it's just greed? Because I feel like it's probably mostly greed, and they just don't care that much. Like once they realize that this is hurting them, they're like, "We're too invested in this. We
No,
can't change our
A little
no,
bit
problem."
of both.
no,
The
A
whole
little bit of
no,
both.
depopulation
no, because
thing
there's
is
actually
about
proof.
it's a depopulation agenda, which is whenever we get to a certain amount of population in the world, they have to lower it because they lose control. And
There's actually proof that
they lost it with COVID. It didn't work for them, so now they're panicking
there's
because
actually proof of repeated attempts to do this, such as the strange fog. I think it was 1937. Quote me if I'm wrong,
no,
but there's
those
in
were the
San
mosquito
Francisco
trucks.
where, but yeah, there's
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff that they've actually done to actually harm individuals that they don't want to rehash and have people retell because they
Well, don't
don't want them to
they
know
want to
what's
get
coming
in
next because they
short?
have the ability to do so.
They want to eliminate, and this was very apparent with the big bug that went around. They want to eliminate the older folk because they don't want the younger folk to be told any of the information. Same with my great grandmother. She told me stuff about the turn of the century that I'm fortunate enough to have somebody tell me about and what went on back there with the Spanish flu. And then I was fortunate enough to know my grandmother for a long time, and she told me about the Depression. And when you start putting all these puzzle pieces together, you see it happens in like 80-year cycles.
Yeah, and Queen's grandma came over during World War II, and she was actually put into a camp in America while the war was proceeding.
I also think it's really important to specify the difference between things that are orchestrated and things that just happen because we're dumb and ignorant. Like I think
No, these are
um
orchestrated.
no, I know, but I
Yeah.
think people conflate, like a good example is like our encounter with Native Americans and giving people what's it called, infected blankets,
Smallpox or whatever.
And
Smallpox.
smallpox
and I
blankets.
like the pushback
I think that
against
has
that.
to do, but I think that has to do with ignorance. I don't think it was a deliberate purpose. We just didn't know about, gene
The
exposure.
weakened immune systems and stuff like that.
Well,
They
it's
didn't have
exposure.
immunity to what
If an
was exactly.
alien came down from another planet and tried to shake bare hands with us, there's a good chance one of us would get sick because we're all exposed to different things. Like, and that just had to do with like ignorance at the time. And
Or
people
more
now
the
make
other
it
way
out to be
around.
a purposeful genocide.
Yeah, more the other way around. We've got more bacteria on this planet. Life is based on bacteria here.
But we don't know where the other planet would come from.
Well,
So
We'd
one
probably
thing
make
that's
them sick.
it's something to think about because like I know Malthus is the guy who kind of came up with the depopulation stuff and the bankers loved him, but like we do have like 8 billion people at this point, and it doesn't seem sustainable how fast our population is growing. Something's got to give here.
Now imagine if they wasn't doing the abortions and all the other extracurricular activities. How many people there actually be on the planet, Mr. Newman? Think about it. They are doing this intentionally. If they haven't have done started this already, we might be past the 10 billion mark. And there has
but I
to be a
also,
capacity where
there's an
something's going to go
argument
wrong. Go ahead, Mr. Waters.
there's an argument for if those people were around that we would have created, we also would have had the ability to create solutions for
Right.
said problems, whether it's delivery systems, whether it's, I mean, United States is a great example. The majority of our population lives on the coast. You know how much open space we have in the
Yeah.
United States, and we try
Well,
to
they
pretend
took
we're overpopulated.
they did a thing last year, a couple years ago, where they said if you took everybody in the world and put them in one place and gave them each of them 1 acre per family, it would take up what was it, like a third of California or even less of that. We've got
That's a
so
crazy
much
thought.
open land. We've got so much open land.
Yeah, and you can even dig underground too, and then you could fit even more people there, and then have
Mhm.
like these giant skyscraper cities.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, or hovering cities. Like there's a million things that we got. I mean, there was civilizations that were considered less, intelligent than ourselves that were creating vast underground cities, like with ventilation shafts going all the way up to the surface, and
Yep.
they had like we're raising farm animals and stuff inside of underground cities. Like it's crazy, and we have evidence of it, and we're like,
It's
this is the
mind-blowing,
best we
isn't it?
got is to live on this is the best we got is to live on the surface and just deal with the elements.
Well, what do you guys think about all the underground tunnels that like the government has made, and other governments have made these too? Like, wouldn't you think like you'd want to put some people down there, like just to have a backup?
Oh yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. I think we've always done stuff like that. I think there's a reason we preserve things in salt mines and underground is because
Mhm.
we can control the temperature of things. Like I think there is longevity to it, and I don't know. I just wish people were more open about it. But I guarantee there's plenty of bunkers underground for if the shit really hit the fan, the elites would be gone. They would be in these bunkers that
They have
some of
bunkers
us.
in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
New Zealand's like this spot where I guess the rich people have like looked at what would happen after a nuclear war, and they figure New Zealand would be the safest spot.
Well, that's because they're planning the nuclear war. Everything that's happening right now in Europe is King Charles throwing a temper tantrum because he doesn't get to have his war.
Yeah, what a crazy idea. I mean, we put so much money in these nuclear weapons, and
Well,
like,
that's the idea. These people make money and get richer off of weapons, off of the sale of weapons, and off of the supply, and off of the death, and it's disgusting.
yeah, I feel like I would like to hope that they don't want to have a nuclear war, but they certainly have a plan if it goes down.
I don't think, from the research we were doing back in 2000, late 90s, the war that we're facing right now, we're in the middle of it. It's not a kinetic war, it's a war for our minds,
World War Five.
which is even more insidious because we see it
World
happening
War
all
Five.
around. We see it happening all around us.
But I think it's what me and you guys weren't here earlier when me and Mr. Newman were talking about this. I think it's on multiple levels. It's taking away humanity, whether it's signing up for Neuralink or maybe getting a
Yeah,
prosthetic or
that's
getting
it.
slowly replaced into AI. I think it's going to
We will
happen.
become augments.
It's a war for our minds. Slowly but
Bro, anybody
surely,
under the age of
step by
10 will not
step.
experience death anymore, bro. Think about it.
Yeah,
Think about
exactly.
that.
I
They'll upload
hashtag
you
doubt
into a
that.
computer.
You
Forget it.
don't think people? Well, I think it'll be like anything else. I think there'll be a slew of people that don't partake in the change. And I mean, I think a good example is like when we tried to switch to electric cars, there's still plenty of people that didn't mind paying $10 a gallon to fill their muscle car and still
Why?
wanted to drive it.
Why buy an electric car
Honestly,
whenever it only goes 2 hours up the road? Bless yourself.
I
Go ahead, Mike.
honestly think that the United States is the ark. This is the country that's going to be able to sidestep all of that because we see it happening at a mad pace in Europe right now.
We have front row seats to the end
Hmm.
of the world. Bless yourself, Mr. Newman.
It's crazier that we're watching the train wreck, but we're on the tracks watching it. Like I don't know if we're going to
No, we're
step
on
out
the
of the
tracks
way.
next to it.
No. I don't know if I don't know. I really do feel like we're watching our own destruction and then
Dude, we're in
pretending
the car
that
behind
we're
the cold
changing
car,
it.
bro.
Well, what I would expect to happen is a cyber attack at some point. I mean,
Yeah.
asymmetric warfare makes the most sense. You can't invade America and China. Like, actually, I was talking to somebody in the military today, and I was so surprised. I think China is actually a paper tiger, and Russia kind of clearly already is. But like, apparently, they actually don't have the ability to do, pardon my
Yeah,
French, but
they
jack
don't.
shit.
It's
They can't.
Iran.
They can't even probably take Taiwan at this point. Like,
Most of
Well,
the
just think
hacks
about
are Iran. Most of the hacks are Iran. My son works in cybersecurity, and he says everything he sees, he can bet it's going to be from Iran. So all
that's
those
because that's
hacks into the
not what our wars are
corporates,
anymore. Our
all the
wars aren't on the
hacks.
ground anymore. You
No, they're
know,
not. They're in cyberspace, and all of those hacks into the corporates. He says about 8 out of 10 Iran.
Exactly. Why send a human whenever you can send a million machines? Oh, excuse me, 2,000 machines. Let me correct myself properly.
Well, we're so dumb. We built this the tools that they're using against us.
We sure
Yeah,
did. And it's really
sold a tool.
interesting to know that there's a train of thought out there and a few videos to kind of put the thought in your mind that demons and elementals and spirits also use it.
Oh, well, yeah. So that's a great topic, and eventually, at some point, I want to nerd out on my stream about it if my audience will allow me to. I'm going to do it anyway. But I think that that LLM technology is very similar to gematria. It's
Yeah,
basically tokenizing letters and creating correspondences, finding patterns.
making a
Eh,
code.
yeah,
You
define
did say
meaning.
something about it being a demonic Ouija board. You
Yeah, like a
said that
spirit
before
board.
on your show. Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
said it was a demonic Ouija board. I agreed with that statement.
Yeah, and a lot of cultists are starting to use it for that, and they're getting, they're getting effects out of it, and it's
Well,
yeah,
didn't the Bible caution us against asking oracles questions and things like this?
yeah, and what we're doing is we're essentially going to worship it because if we put all of our trust in this thing and we constantly consume it, we wake up each
Project
day and we
Montauk.
say, "Hello, computer," and like it starts,
Yeah.
doing everything for us, deciding who we are even going to marry and all that. That's basically going to be
Project Montauk.
artificial providence.
Yeah.
Project Montauk. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's more mind control than it is this.
Whenever I say that it was supposed to happen in 2030, and the timeline moved up to 2028, and now it's either mid 2027 or late 2026, is exactly what you're talking about, where everything will be completely controlled and a machine will make all these decisions, like from Futurama, where Fry is still a delivery boy. The machine chose him to be a
I still think that in this country it's going to be different from the rest of the world because there's too many people clued in and waiting and watching.
I just don't think it's going to change with
It'll be a
the
remnant.
psyop that's going on with media. Something actually has to change.
Yeah.
Like
Something
there is
really
a
supposed to
large
happen.
Donald Trump's going down in the polls, like, and it's only because of media. Like, there's some decisions that you could question him about and be like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't agree with all of this,
Well,
but at
there's
the
a
same
lot of
time,
distractions
I do
going
think,
on, and I
well, because
don't believe in the
I do think
polls.
I do think he's a change in the right direction, but I don't think he's going to be the one that gets us there. It's going to take more than a 4-year president
No,
to change this country.
he's
Like,
only the target. That's it. He's only the target. He's the distraction. He's the
our
thing.
system, though, is set up that we're going to have a Democrat in next.
Think about the transition between radio and television, and then realize it's the same thing from internet to AI.
He's the target. He's the focus. He's keeping all the children busy hating on him while the military is doing the constitutional thing in the background.
What do you mean the constitutional thing?
We've been under military control, I think, since the end of his first administration. Do you remember when he came up for his inauguration event? Do you understand the significance of the men that were standing on either side of him?
No.
Okay. He had a bunch of uniformed officers standing on either side of him during his inauguration address, the first one. When he marched up to the podium to address everybody, he had the Navy, the Army, the military, and they all had the caps on. And the bands on their caps, every single one of them are JAG.
Or what?
Sending a message.
Or JAG?
JAG.
What's JAG?
That's the judicial. It's the military arm of the courts. It's the
It's a military branch.
tribunals.
DeSantis from Florida is a former JAG member.
He's also former JAG. But these guys are active JAG. And what he was doing was sending a message to the deep state that they will be prosecuted. And this is what's been happening in the background the whole time. That's why Biden was allowed to win and just run amok, because he was on a leash.
But I think Biden had to run amok for Trump to even have a chance to be elected. And I think all it's going to happen is reverse it back. It's because our political system is...
That was part of the show. He had to show
I get it,
people. he had to show the people how bad it could be if this is what they continued with.
The worst ride, and I've had these conversations with people. The worst rioting that happened actually happened during the Trump administration.
Yeah, because they don't like him. It's just
Well, and
painful.
also because he didn't do anything about it.
Well, we have the freedom to do that, but you could.
He does
Okay,
have
let me
the
explain
he does
something.
have the freedom to let it run amok. I
He
agree,
can't
and then I
be
think he
a
was
dictator.
baiting into the next administration in order for him to get reelected, so that people could see a positive
Well, of course, you
change.
have to play the political game, but he can't just come in and take charge of a state. He has the governor and the mayor. Look at this one. What is it in Massachusetts? She's claiming Donald Trump won't come there and clean things up and, take care of their crime rate. Well, that's her job. She's the governor.
There's
That's
nothing wrong
what
with
she
it if they're asking for help, though, and we are allowed to use
somebody like Gavin
the National Guard to protect our citizens. We are allowed to
somebody
do
like
that.
Gavin Newsom, for instance, do you think he's going to ask him for help?
No,
Nope.
but that comes down to state sovereignty, and if individual
Right.
states want to run themselves into the ground, they have the choice of doing that. The same reason
Exactly.
that Donald Trump didn't freak out about Mondani taking over in New York, because there's other
like
checks
letting
and
him touch
balances where he's a mayor and he also only has so much control.
Yeah,
He's
but you
not
have
he's
to
not
let
actually
the
running
people-
the state.
You have to let the people touch the stove to learn. We're dealing with a bunch of NPCs. Let them touch the stove. Let them
Yeah.
learn. They want socialism? Here, you got it.
It's just American politics are set up for one step forward, one step back, and
Two
I
steps
already
back.
know what the next administration is going to be. That's what bugs me about it.
It swings, I know. And that's why he's on this mission to get everything cleaned up, and this is why the military has finally been brought in, because we can't let it continue. They
And
just
I'll
can't.
pretend there's not an influence from Israel. I'll do my best.
They're our greatest
Israel,
ally.
Iran, Europe.
Greatest ally.
Are,
They bring so
yeah.
much to the table, he says.
well,
They
you think
do.
that's bad?
Remember when they saved the USS Liberty? You guys should look that up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I
I
remember
remember when they
that.
got us. I remember when they got us in every single war in the Middle East.
Our
Remember when
big
they were
enemy
dancing?
right now is the crown.
But
Our
actually, I
big
got to get
enemy.
out of here because I got to go to church tomorrow. But it was a pleasure talking to you all.
Oh, it was
Nice talking to you
meet
again, Daniel.
Yeah, see you guys.
Have a good night.